Hello and welcome to Beyond Reality for Beyond Mystic. And it is December the 2nd, 2024. So happy New Year if you're following the Gregorian New Year calendar. So I wanted to talk about a little bit that's been happening over the break. We've just ended going through the Mercury retrograde, and we've also gone direct with Jupiter as well. So it should be a much more abundant, fun time going into this year. And yeah, we're still in the shadow period for the next 2 weeks with this Mercury retrograde. So still being careful with your words, careful with contracts, agreements, or things like that. Careful to not get swept up into any kind of like verbal chaos or anything of that sort of nature. So playing it safe is always a really good thing during the end of Mercury retrograde times. But I wanted to talk about a little bit about what's been going on, not only in my world, but in kind of like the spirit world and in the other realms, because that's really kind of like where my expertise is. And it's really, as a kid growing up, always seeing auras and interacting with spirit and things, it really has been, I guess, not just my passion, but why I feel that I'm here is to kind of help navigate through these kind of realms and through these particular times that we're in now. So what's happening in the moment of now is that we're having extra little veils that are being lifted and removed. So I'm even hearing from people that don't usually see things, that they're starting to see lights in the dark, that they're starting to see energy coming off in terms of like their light body and things like that. They're seeing more interactions with UFOs in the sky, seeing more spirit beings, more nature beings, more things that they can't kind of like make common sense of. So this is where I really love to dive into the deep woo and really look into these mystical topics, and really look into this, I guess, myriad of, if we look at it as a visual spectrum, really talking about things that are just outside of our visual spectrum. So one thing that I had happen personally is still more things happening in dream realms. So multiple timeline dreams and shifts, also like sensing and like tapping into other, not just realities, but other timelines. So I know we've talked about this on a couple of the other shows, but also my partner's been experiencing things like this as well. So yeah, that's like made life really interesting. But yeah, I've written a little list because it's been a little bit since I've seen you guys. So happy New Year and Merry Christmas. So yeah, I've also written about like higher dimensional beings coming in a lot more as well. So this is also where discernment is our greatest gift that we can use. So really feeling into your heart, feeling into your gut, feeling into not just your mind, but your heart and gut energy as well, to check in if spirit feels off, or it feels like it could be a trickster type being. And this is where I always use the shamanic approach that I was taught, that you ask if a being loves you unconditionally, you ask 3 times, or ask if it's there for your best highest good, and you also ask 3 times as well. So this is one of these things that I love to use, especially because our veil and the worlds are getting very, very thin at the moment. So I am noticing more higher forms of consciousness stepping in, wanting to communicate, wanting to pass messages down into the human realm. So there's a lot of excitement when it's coming to the higher realms and us kind of getting closer to closing that gap into the spirit world side of things. I've also put multiple layers being stripped back. So I did do a meditation before today as well. And what spirit was really giving me in this meditation, and it was more a meditation where I was utilizing binaural beats and scalar waves and really kind of like going into altered state, which I love doing. But with this, spirit kept just saying like, let everything fall away, let all of the other things strip back. So what they were showing is a lot of things are being removed out of our consciousness at the moment, so that we can strip back and can come to the core part of who we are on a spiritual soul level. So a lot of old things are falling away, a lot of old concepts, a lot of old information about who we think we are and our relation to the world. So you might find that by the end of 2024, that you might be a whole nother different version of yourself to who you were even at the start of this year. I do feel overall, when I looked into the year as well, that it's going to be a year of huge personal transformation. And we are in an 8-year as well. So it is a year to really focus on manifesting and finance and abundance. Can you guys hear the crack of thunder as I say that? So interesting. Just to reiterate, It's an amazing year to focus on abundance and finance. We are also going to be going into the Chinese Year of the Dragon. So, an intensely prosperous year it can be if you're utilizing energies the right way and also manifesting within accordance of who you are and also not falling into, I guess, the wider scheme of things in terms of government organizations and other things like that that want to gain wealth off people. So, let's have a look at what else I've written, if there's anything else. Oh, I did write, there was one experience that I had that was really interesting. So my partner and I were just laying there at night, and he mentioned about all this beautiful blue light just emanating. He's like, oh, there's all this blue light just coming off of you. And I could see the same on him as well. So we're really starting to increase that vision and that scope from outside of just that normal visual spectrum. So paying attention to your eyes. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention is I'm posted on Facebook. So for those of you that are not connected, it'd be lovely to connect over there. But yeah, what I am seeing is increased ocular migraines happening, increased migraines of third eye. And so there was a period with the solar flares is when I tend to notice them the most. So I'm noticing that the same with other people too, is that when solar flares increase, these ocular migraines or third eye migraines are also starting to increase. So you can feel the pulsation of the magnetic crystals, the piezoelectric activity activating within the pineal gland. So just noticing if that's something that's happening for you. It may also be good to look into heavy metal detox if this is also like something that you're wanting to work on and develop and to upgrade your psychic gifts and abilities. And before we jump into cards, I just want to remind you guys to please head on over to Beyond Mystic 003 and like, share, and subscribe. You can see that there is a huge community building here as well as over on Rumble. So remembering to go over onto Rumble to view the things that we're not often able to talk about in depth and in full here on YouTube. And I also wanted to remind you guys too to use the discount code Beyond Mystic in all caps on masonjupiter.com to book a session with me. I will have a couple more that I'm releasing going through the year as well, and I'll probably open a bigger amount, getting a little bit, a couple of months ahead of time. But yeah, we have the starseed readings where we look into your origin and your mission. And I also find that quite often we will be looking into releasing past life things that have been hindering or holding back. So I often describe with the oversoul that there's different things that sometimes will vibrate into our reality in the here and now. So sometimes we can push through things that try and shift and change on a physical world. We can sometimes receive like a brick wall or a block with this. So quite often a lot of the energy and a lot of the concentration can be held or stuck within a past life. So I really love helping to push people past these blocks and help them to free up more energy to move into future alignment. So starseed readings are really great in also looking at where your mystic origins also originate and your starseed origins. And we have the mystical oracle reading. So both these readings go for an hour. With the mystical oracle reading, it is a great follow-up in regards to starseed reading, or even just a great reading if it's something that you really have like a list of questions, or you have things that are kind of like burning in your heart or your mind that you just want to dive into and find out more about. So yeah, this is my passion and my love. And we also have the 2024 predictions for all 12 zodiac signs with Julie and Meg. So you'll find this over on the Inside Access Pass and pay-per-view. And yeah, these are amazing. So please go check out all of your signs. And let me head back and we'll pick some cards and have a look at this week coming up ahead. All right, so let's see what Spirit wants us to really focus on and look into energy-wise for this week coming for the start of 2024. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I've missed being with you guys as well. It's so nice to be back. And it's so lovely just to feel in to all of the energies. I just feel that beautiful soul family connection. So we have quite a few cards. So we've got 6 cards here on my desk. So we'll feel into these and then we'll flip them over. So I am hearing light language come through. And the other thing that I'm also seeing with this is I keep seeing clouds. And what I keep seeing is other beings peering down from the clouds, looking into Earth realm. They keep showing me like a game or kind of like a Colosseum type effect or feel. So I keep sort of seeing it, I guess, like we would think of in like Greek Olympian times or Roman times, looking into, I guess, like a gladiator. I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but that circular round where you would watch games held or games kind of finalize or finish out. So I'm seeing it from one perspective. It's almost like watching the gods' games kind of play out down here is the vision that Spirit's giving me. But what I'm also seeing is a yellow, the word that Spirit's giving me is invitation. And I'm seeing it being passed individually to us. And they're talking about participating in these games. And what they're showing is that we actually get to be the creator of our own reality. We get to be the gods that are coming in down to this realm or down into this reality. What they're showing me now, they're giving me like a signal or an image or a symbol of a hat. And they're saying, what hat do you wish to play for the final, the word finality of the games, which I'm pretty sure they're meaning like finalization of these games. So let's also have a look into this. So what they're showing is some people will see this as Hunger Games. Some people will see this as Game of Life. Some people will see this as kind of like an adventure game. Some people will see it as Monopoly. This is really interesting. I've never been shown this perspective. And other people will see this more as kind of like a spiritual game. But they're showing me that we each get to choose the way in which we're interacting within these games. We may get pulled into some of the timelines or some other kind of like ventures or games from time to time, but essentially it's up to us to reset the core player of who we are, to reset that piece. We need to stop letting other people decide what piece of the puzzle or what piece of the game that we're going to be. They're showing me, for example, say like within Monopoly, say that you want to be the Scotty dog, but someone keeps giving you the boot or something like that, or the shoe, and telling you that that's the character that you have to play. They keep showing me take back your character, take back your essence, take back the game that you're wanting to play down here. They keep showing me put the ball in your court, let everything else fall away. So let's flip these cards over. Oh my gosh, this is cool. Okay, so the first card that we have, and the one that I think is cool, is the Choose Your Own Adventure card coming up with this. So the first one we have is Five of Disc. Now, with this Five of Swords energy, so with this, it is the card of defeat. So I do feel that some of the darker side of things is feeling a little bit of the defeat at the moment. And it's interesting because I have this vision from Spirit. It's almost like the humanity in us may even feel like a little bit like tender or a little bit kind of like sorry for the dark side. And I don't mean that lightly. The way that I mean it is the humanity in us has heart, has caring. And what they're showing with the dark side of things is that it doesn't have this kind of thing. So what we're seeing within this is, yeah, I guess that difference, or the kind of like, the up and the down side of the dark and the light. So they're showing that through a lot of the things that are being purged and cleared right now, it's actually bringing out more humanity in us. Now, I'm not saying this is to be kind to the dark side or anything like that. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm actually saying is it's to look at the contrast. That's what they're really trying to show right now. In looking in the contrast, to be reflected back, to look at the light that we are, to look at the light that we hold within, and not to be distracted or drawn in to the dark or into kind of the glitz and the glamour of the dark. So it really is to kind of close your eyes to a lot of the things and distractions going on right now. We are at a pivotal point in a timeline. So for me, this card represents choose your own adventure, choose your own reality. And I always see this as kind of like a fork in the road. So with this, we also see it has this beautiful central point. For me, this is also the pineal gland, and it's about sending out like a shockwave of the certain reality that you're creating. So we also see Three of Swords energy. So there still may be some emotions and things that we're crying out, that we're purging. This is Saturn's energy with Libra. So we're also purging out the control. We're establishing balance. So there may be anger, there may be different emotions and things that we feel to do with the detox of these heavier things. but it's to remember that we have all of these seeds planted within us. So this is beautiful Virgo and Sun energy, and it's to let these seeds come to the surface. And I just saw 444 on my little clock here. So with the 8 of disc, it's to let things come into the fruitful vision. It really is to activate, and this is pure virginal energy too. And I keep getting shown throughout this day just this beautiful kind of like soul light spark that's within us, not just existing like around, sacral chakra, but heart, and also solar plexus, sacral, solar plexus, and heart chakra. So I keep seeing this kind of like point or spark of light to keep bringing our awareness to this, to keep bringing our awareness of being a soul in the body. There we actually see peace. And with this beautiful 2 of Swords energy, we see that this is Moon energy and Libra. So we're establishing more of a balance. We're coming more into kind of like our cycles and our intuition. We're also going to be having a lot more of our psychic powers and gifts revealed. So with these solar flashes and with this crazy, crazy energy that we're experiencing at the moment, and as I was describing at the start, with the lights and things that we're going to be able to see, we're also going to experience more kind of like telepathy, more connectedness, and a deeper level of the word I want to say is connection, not just with each other, but like on our personal relationship to self, and our relationships with others will also become more solidified, more close. So make sure that you have those beautiful positive ones around, because we're going to be getting into more and more depths. We're going to be connecting on the things that are not just like surface stuff. So with this 2 of Swords as well, we also see this beautiful blue lotus right in the center. So we're going to be seeing things that the heart will see, or things that the heart will perceive. So it's a really beautiful card. To me, this represents seeing beyond the veil of our reality to really kind of see into the depths from a soul perspective. We also see 5 of Swords. So it doesn't mean it's going to be like all roses or things going forth. It does look like that there is, the word they're giving me is hiccups and speed bumps, to do with like future and to do with dark side, still throwing kind of like tacks under the tires, so to speak. So let's have a look into the Mythos Greek Tarot and see also what comes up as some clarifiers. And let me know how things have been going for you. Let me know if you guys have also been seeing plasma energy fields, light. Have you been having the birds interact? I should post some of the amazing interactions, and I'm getting really close to when I'm outside with the cockatoos and things like that. And some of them are so cheeky, some of the things that they get up to. They're real characters. So let's flip these over. So we have 4 of Wands. So 4 of Wands is not only the spiritual marriage card, it's a card of completion. So we're completing a cycle. We also have Queen of Swords. Really interesting. We're completing a cycle, but we're coming into our own power. So I see this as the integration of the awareness of our soul living within this physical vessel. So this is a year of living with more intention, more purpose, really utilizing the time. And I heard something amazing the other day that it was talking about the difference between, I guess, majority of people thinking about, I'm going to achieve this year. And it was really kind of breaking it up into a quarter and thinking about like, what are you going to achieve in the next 90 days? And then you could even further like tap that down into what are you going to achieve like, the next 28 days, and really look at it as like a 13-month cycle. We also have the 7 of Wands. So this is a Leo energy. It's a card of valor as well, and strength. So I really want you guys to, this is Spirit's advice, is the words that I'm hearing. So tap into kind of looking at what it is that you want to complete. Really look at like what it is that you need to put out there, what it is that you need to speak. This is very important now that we're going to be coming out of this Mercury retrograde shadow period in the next 2 weeks as well. So looking and reassessing like what your strengths are. We have the 5 of Pentacles again. So I also feel that Spirit is preparing us to kind of like assess what could be some things that we could expect. So I do feel this is talking about preparation. I do feel this is talking about readiness and preparedness, because we have Ace of Coins. So there's something brand new that is going to be shifting or coming in to our reality. There is going to be a new change. So I do feel this is really looking at preparedness with this. And let's just get some other clarifiers as well around this Five of Coins energy, because we've had it to come up twice, High Priestess. So this is really to kind of like stay level-headed, to stay centered amongst the midst of chaos and distraction. Because I always sort of see an Eight of Wands energy being like a lower version of the High Priestess for me, because I always see like kind of like bow and arrow energy with the two of these. So I feel like for the High Priestess, she's not distracted by games. She's not distracted by spotfire here, like news over here, or having her attention drawn in multiple directions. So this is really be prepared, be calm, be level-headed. We also have the Empress. So this is definitely someone who's kind of looked into all things, all situations. She's the Queen of Queens, but she also is soft and feminine and nurturing. We also have Eight of Cups. So this is also about removing yourself from situations that no longer serve. With the Eight of Cups energy as well, it's also looking at like what's broken or what's fractured. It's Saturn energy too. So what's being controlling? What is it that we need to kind of have a change or eclipse from? What is it that might be pulling us into lower vibrational frequencies? What is it emotionally that keeps pulling us back into cycles? I really feel that this, and you can hear the cockatoos going a bit crazy. So I do feel this is about cycle breaking, standing within your power very, very deeply. We also have Knight of Swords. So this might be about making a contract, a commitment, or a connection with moving ahead for yourself as well. We also have Five of Swords energy. So I do feel this is trying to make us commit to something so that we don't kind of like, how would I say? The word they're giving me is self-defeatist type behavior. So I really feel that they're trying to prevent us from getting into self-defeatist type behavior. So how can you set yourself up now for a year of success and accountability and commitment? So it may be booking a session and having a reading and mapping out a plan, looking into spirit and how we can take action around things. Also, it's to focus on the brighter energy, on the sun. And I also feel that this is about the solar flares and the upgrades and things that are happening with us on, there's no other word for it apart from superpower level. So really interesting cards that we have this week. Let me just pop a few little reminders up and then we'll jump into some final cards for the week. So again, just reminding you guys to check out the 2024 predictions from Meg and Julie, and we have it for each of the 12 zodiac signs. So you'll find this on the Insider Access Pass and pay-per-view on beyondmysticacademy.com and or beyondmystic.net. And what you'll also see is look out for your sun, moon, and rising. I also love to look up my Venus sign as well. So certain people will have certain things that they love to look into for information. I found like all of my signs so accurate. And I also wanted to remind you guys, please use the 10% discount code Beyond Mystic in all caps, which is just running along the bottom of the screen right now over at masonjupiter.com. And I can't wait to read for you guys as well. And it's so lovely to meet each of you individually and to look into your aura. So we also have the Beyond Mystic 003 YouTube page, and don't forget we're over on Rumble as well. So JC and the girls work very hard to produce lots of content, lots of shows as well. So much coming up for 2024. It's going to be an incredible year. So let's pick some cards just to finalize and finish up having a look into this week ahead. Oh, I forgot to mention, I had the stone labradorite come in for this week. I also found gold being like a really strong energy. I'm not sure if you guys just saw it look like an orb. So I passed when we're talking about gold. And also this beautiful Andara, which one of my gorgeous clients and friends sent me, which is so beautiful. I really love meditating with this piece. So let's have a look and see. So we have the Seven Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestries of Life and Expression. And I also have Earth Pulsing. So Pulse of the Mother, Slow Down, Time in Nature. And we also have Earthed. So learning how to be human in a world, but not of it. So the other thing too, with this ocular migraine, pulsing, third eye migraine headache thing that a lot of people have been feeling at the moment with the shift And with the solar activity is get your feet on the ground. A lot of these pulse waves are actually activating coming up through Gaia. So you also have things purged and shifted when you connect to the ground. So I'll just hold these up. So we have the 7 sisters, which we know as the Pleiades, very beautiful. We also have this earth one, and we have this other earth one. So really important to connect with the stars and connect with the earth this week. So I love you guys all very much. And Ben and I look forward to seeing you guys over on Mystical Universe really soon as well. So take care.